We'll find out.
We'll find that out tonight if it's possible. Just a general guideline. If you are, one wrong look away from torpor, do not stand in the line of fire. Just, not to mention that sorry folks, but before we begin, I need to say this. Physically looking, you look fucking messed up.
Oh, no.
So, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Kine Country, our Vampire the Masquerade edition game set in London a couple of years after the events of the supplement The Fall of London, in which mortal authorities completely decimate vampire rule. Now there's no longer any major organizations or sects. It's just a bunch of small vampiric gangs claiming rulership over little pieces of the pie. Our party is set in Soho, where they are now contending with factions that have kind of sprung up in the past few months. In previous episodes, they managed to get a faction of Nosferatu to join them as essentially their information brokers, working exclusively with them. And they managed to establish first relations with a Banu Hakim-led faction. That, as I was describing it to them in private, it's essentially the Batman family. It's a few of them, but they're all incredibly badass. And they're very much right now on a, let's see how you handle this next bit of business, and based on that, we'll make a choice on whether we remain neutral from between the different factions, or if we effectively become your law enforcement. Which brings us to the next faction. One is the Nightsiders, a Bruja-led faction that is more close to an actual gang than anything, with a perhaps problematic thing that they have human members. There's the Schattenjäger, a Hekata-led faction that has taken over, more or less, an old hostel in Soho that is all kinds of haunted.
They took some of my spiders.
And lastly, there's the Red Light Clique. Clique as CLIQUE, as in a group, that is a Toreador / Ventrue-led faction that is very much is in control of all the red light and more, let's call it adult entertainment in Soho. And it's Soho, so there's a lot of it.
And they've been asking questions.
To be fair, you've been asking questions too. So
yeah, but about Ophelia, which is not cool.
Tit for tat. So
no.
But before
Clove says no.
During our last game, well, the past couple of games, members of the crew, the Coterie's associates, particularly a gangrel named Bobby, has been looking into the different factions, particularly the Nightsiders, asking some questions. And it seems his information gathering did not go unnoticed. And he was taken from within a crowd, and the message was sent to the Coterie that the Nightsiders had him, and it was time for a meetup to discuss, a first neighborhood meeting between them. And before we jump into things, we just quickly go around and people can tell you who they are and who they are playing. Let's start with Adrian.
Hit to find the mute button. Hey everybody, I'm Adrian, and I'm playing Violette de Saint Pierre, who is thoroughly annoyed that somebody has decided to interfere with one of her employees.
Nate.
I'm Nate. I'm playing Michael.
Now the window's changed. I'm annoyed. What happened?
Yeah. I pinged you. I don't know what happened. I mean, I'm also Ophelia right now, but that will change in 2 seconds. Who is
Oh, I did it again. I put it exactly how it was.
thinking about sitting this one out,
Oh,
considering I am full of holes.
no.
Be specific. You are not
Mood.
full of holes. You have a hole, a gigantic gash through your neck that goes in one end, comes out the other.
So that's a lot more holes than he normally has. He's full of extra holes.
And whose fault is that?
Words of a famous person. Any hole is a goal.
Not this one. Nope. But
Just consider it a bonus hole. Jade.
Hi, I'm Jade. I'm playing Ophelia Taylor. I am your Toreador for the evening. My pronouns are Toreador. And I am very much looking forward to anything as it is.
And Megan.
Megan, she, her. I play Clove, also she, her, a spider Nosferatu who would so it wasn't not cool that like Michael ate that guy when like Clove was totally gonna finish eating that guy, and like, you know, maybe there'd be like less holes. That's all Clove's gonna say. She's definitely over it though, so it's fine.
No, you're not on Hunger 0 because at the beginning of the night you immediately become Hunger 1. Hunger 0 only lasts for that night.
What?
We're beginning another night tonight.
oh, okay.
After all, you all need rest, and you need the possibility, Michael, of well, that's another question. Who is taking up the day or the night as you awaken? Is it Michael or Gabriel? Gabriel closed off the game last time.
I think if Gabriel has any way to assert himself, he is trying to be in control.
Let's just say that happens.
Doesn't trust Michael anymore to survive. Right.
You awaken, and we'll start with you. You awaken. The night is fresh. The moon is hanging out in the sky. A bright full moon. There might be, some howling in the distance, but don't need to pay attention to that. Maybe, don't worry, Megan. No Shadow Lords. Please make a rouse check. And in fact, everybody make your rouse checks, and we'll discuss the results as how we get to you. I'm gonna assume that that little dance of victory was all good.
That's it.
So does Gabriel get hungrier?
I'm just rolling.
Beautiful. You wake up hurt in a great degree of discomfort. It's not exactly pain, as you wake up without the blush of life, so they're not exactly nerve endings working to make you feel as though you were alive, but there is discomfort. There is let's call it an issue with overall integrity of your bodily structure. The temple has been desecrated, to put it in another way. And you feel the beast almost like someone sitting at a desk just tapping the desk with their fingers. You just feel a wave of annoyance towards you, and getting flashes of that moment when the beast took over last time, when you rode the wave out, and you get that memory back as almost like a wave of intent of what the beast demands. And you see yourself tearing into the neck of this scumbag, because that's what he was. And you get that sense of just, there are things to fix, there are things to do, get your shit sorted. And pay no mind to the small lives of Kine. There's always more where those came from. There are more important things than the little people. How does Gabriel go about his business?
I go back down to hunger 1, and I will not risk a roll in this current condition, and I will spend 1 point of my herd.
I am going to make you roll just as well, because you are approaching your herd, but you look like you've been put through a meat grinder. And your herd is more or less just normal people that are within your area of influence, giving members of a book club. You have kind of gathered them around you for ease of access, but they are still normal people that are not aware of your vampiric nature. And given that your injuries are very visible, I'm going to make you roll just your hunt roll. Because after all, you need someone asleep. Normally, I wouldn't make you roll.
See me.
Normally, I wouldn't make you roll, but you still... The thing is, with your feeding habit, it's not about being seen. They need to be asleep. Normally, that's very easy. You just wait for one and to fall asleep during one of the meetings of however your herd gets together. In this situation, given your appearance, it's more about being subtle enough to not draw attention to yourself from other members around. We're only doing it because we have established that you are very messed up. That is more than enough. You managed to hide your discomfort, your peculiar situation right now, and enough to not draw unwanted attention, giving you free rein to take away that point of hunger. Is Gabriel going to attempt to remove one of those points of aggravated damage as he feeds?
Yes. And I do. I technically have 2 points of herd, so I was going to try to heal, and then I can always feed once more if I need to.
Very well. I need you to make 3 rouse checks for me.
Is it 3 for healing, aggravated?
Yes. To heal 1 point of aggravated, which is the only point of aggravated that you can heal, you need to
That's the wrong thing.
rouse 3 times.
Oh, that's going really well.
I'm going to assume that's sarcasm.
It goes up 2 and then it will go back down 1, so I'll stay at hunger 2.
Well, you did not reach hunger 4. Otherwise, I would have made you roll for that frenzy. Because at hunger 4 and above, just the mere scent of blood is enough to have the beast come out and play. But you have healed most of that gaping viewpoint in your neck. The flesh has started to mend together. It still looks gnarly, but it is better than before.
Can you remind me what happens to the non-aggravated damage?
You basically took non-lethal damage up to your backs. And then from the, let's say, call it the bottom, you started taking aggravated damage. Basically, anything that is not aggravated, that remains as non-aggravated, you can heal with...
Until the aggravated is gone.
No, you can heal it up. You can heal it. If you have non-aggravated. But if you have aggravated, you heal the full box. It doesn't degrade into superficial. You just heal the full box if it's aggravated. If you have any box that's just as superficial damage, you can heal that as well at a rate of 1 rouse check per point of injury.
So how would that have worked?
Do you have any boxes?
I had, yeah. Well, so I have 5. I have 5 health, of which I was 4 aggravated, but all of the boxes
that
were. That
means you have 4 levels of aggravated damage, and 1 level of superficial.
5 superficial, or 1 level of superficial. So if I've just healed,
you have 1 level of superficial. Those other 4 upgraded from superficial to aggravated. So basically, now you have essentially 1 level of health free. That is a level healthy, and now you have essentially 3 levels of aggravated and 1 of superficial.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do with that last full box is all, but it just moves along, I guess.
As I said, unfortunately, you cannot heal more than 1 aggravated per night. The effort is simply too much for you, and even if you could, it invites, well, disaster. But will you attempt to heal the superficial one?
No, not right now.
Very well.
Not right now while it hates me.
Clove, you awaken without the need to feed. Your hunger, well, you have the need to feed. You always have the need to feed. But the beast is not skittering in the back of your mind, demanding you take a new victim. So it is a calm night at the cinema. Yet you put in a regular good movie that people will enjoy. Which movie are they watching?
Oh, she went real classic. She was like, just put on Casablanca. I don't need them to sleep. And we'll sing La Marseille. It's great. They love it. Look how happy everyone is.
No, it's not an independent avant-garde French movie that will put people to sleep just so you can feed.
I gotta save those.
Very well.
I have a Hodorowski that I'm gonna play Holy Mountain and really mess with people when I'm hungry again.
That, I think, putting them in a movie watching Jodorowsky, I think that breaks chronicle tenets. And you will have a stain on your humanity.
No, it's hard. Okay, we'll have this discussion later. Spiders.
That is cruel.
My spiders have opinions about cinema that I do not share. They each have their own favorite director. It gets very loud sometimes.
Where is Clove heading tonight? Heading straight to the club, or
yeah, because
taking another
if
step?
yeah, I think like if they're like gonna have a meeting and get Bobby back, and she's not hungry, which is nice. Yeah, she's just gonna focus on like just focus, go into the club.
Violetta, you had left the last evening with 2 hunger. What is the result of your rouse check?
I do not get hungrier.
Very good. You awaken very much feeling as you were. There is a bit of a nagging of the beast, a disapproving tut in the voice of your sire, just reminding you that it's good form to take care of yourself before you engage in any pressing business. And you will need every single bit of your might if you're going to contend with this new faction and make them realize the error of their ways in taking what is yours. And thank you for the raid. Thank you so much for joining us. We're just beginning. So where does Violetta head as she wakes?
I think the first thing she wants to do is actually see if she can go and find. Gosh, I forget his name now. Does Violetta know how to get in touch with William Barstow?
The leader of the Sword of Soho.
Yeah.
Yes, he would have obtained a means of communication with him. He would have made that available to you.
She's going to be trying to get hold of him.
Takes a few minutes. It rings for a few minutes and then... Hello?
Good evening, Mr. Barstow.
Miss St. Pierre, what can I do for you tonight?
We have a mutual problem, and I am wanting to discuss it further. It seems that I'm just looking at my notes here. Nightsiders. Yes, sorry. I just couldn't remember who it was. It seems Mr. Billows thinks it's perfectly acceptable to come into other people's establishments and abscond with their employees.
You think I might need you to elaborate on that, but let's not do it over the phone. I will meet you in an hour's time at your base of operations.
Thank you. I'm very grateful for that.
I will see you there. And he hangs up.
She is going to call her car and tell him to take the long way around. And she's going to stew a little bit in her limo while drives a bit around London and eventually circles back to the club.
Does Violetta do anything to sate the hunger?
She does
or
not.
Is she riding that edge?
She's going to let it play out.
Ophelia, what is the result of your rouse check?
Well, obviously my hunger increased, which wasn't very good. But that's fine because it means I'm really on hunger too. It could be worse.
Your beast this time doesn't say anything. It doesn't make any moves, no demands. There is silence. Except you get flashes of images. It's more emotion and intent. Almost like memories that are not yours. Flashes of a dream. And the flashes you see are the people around you at the club. Max, Bobby, Nikki, Ricky, Gabriel. And then you see the image of Bobby being ripped away. Then the same happens to Max, Nikki, Ricky. Then you see the image of Michael being, well, shish kebabbed. And you feel that hunger bubbling inside of you. And you just feel this almost like a whisper in your mind, colder than it's ever been before. Just the whisper, almost like a devil in your ear going, are you going to let that happen? Are you finally going to do what is needed and be at your best to get your people back?
Yeah.
And take everything from them.
Yeah.
And go do it. No excuses. And the voice disappears, leaving you again in a sense of absence that you have not felt before. Almost like the beast itself is choosing to distance itself from you. It is, for a creature as accustomed and drawn to company and to the comforting presence of those around you, it might be discomforting, though I will leave the exact nature of what it feels like to you to decide. But the beast has taken a step away, just rendering this ultimatum in a way, and then just leaving you to your business.
I don't like not having guidance. And this is annoying me.
What does Ophelia do?
Well, she's gonna stay hungry because she's like, no, if I get hungrier, maybe that will help because I'll get stronger and I'll get more angry and maybe I can help more if I'm more angry, more hungry. And she's gonna shoot off a text message to her family and just like a, hey, how you doing? I hope you're okay. I'm off to work, but like I hope that you've been keeping it out of trouble. I will hopefully see you soon, but not too soon. I love you lots. Bye. And then go to the club being like, right, I'm gonna be on top form today and I'm gonna kick some ass.
We'll see how that decision impacts the rest of the evening. But needless to say, you all gather at the club once more. Things are being set up inside for a new production, as you have already discussed in the past, that you would, put the club a bit on a hiatus while you deal with some of the pressing issues. And Bobby's disappearance last time perhaps has accelerated that work, or at least it seems like it. It seems someone's made the decision to get that going. And considering you find Max directing workers to do a bit of renovation and, fixing things around, that's likely the person who commanded it. But you are at the club at your office. Do you wish to have a meeting between the four of you, a scene just yourselves, or do you wish for William Barstow to join you and we go from there? It's up to you.
I imagine that before William arrived, it would be pertinent to try and get a little bit more information on the background events that transpired that led to Bobby's disappearance.
In terms of that, between your security personnel and because I'm guessing they are there now that you have this little security force of yours, looking through the cameras based on the events of last time, Gabriel led the individual to that side room, that back room where no one else but you all go, which is more or less set for you. A fight ensued. Gabriel more or less was losing that fight terribly. Clove went in, the whole spectacle happened. Things looked like they were going to get out of hand. So you all made the call to get the clientele out so that the masquerade would not be broken and you would avoid that potential issue. Your security forces, along with Max and Bobby, were ushering people outside. And part of the thing was basically everybody outside was given drinks and turned almost like a beer garden kind of situation. Chairs were put out for folks to enjoy because you just made a announcement that you were preparing like a special event just for them, but you had to put some finishing touches, just asking people to wait outside and then they'll be let back in. And Bobby was, let's say, among the crowd dealing with that, and your CCTV shows that as he was working the crowd, someone approached him, put a hand on his shoulder, and then they both left walking calmly, got into a van and drove away. Which I think at the time you all kind of realized that he had been manipulated into leaving with them. That is very much the timeline of events.
We get a good look on the camera at the person who touched who touched Bobby on the shoulder or let him walk.
No, the person was wearing a hooded sweatshirt and the camera doesn't catch them properly.
And what about the vehicle itself? Not from our cameras, but is it possible to get
You don't have details on that, but you were, after a while, you received essentially like a burner phone, and you got a call from the leader of the Nightsiders, and he gave you a time and an address to meet.
Yeah. I think VLS is trying to see if there's someone connected to the situation that she can point some people out to follow first before anything else happens.
Something you would know, and this doesn't require any roll because you know this. You know that Bobby has been asking around and, getting in touch with some younger gangrel that he knows around, the borough, but he's been kind of handling that on his own, and I don't think you have any concrete information how to get in touch with those people and pull them in or follow them in any way. Kind of a situation with limited information.
I think when if the others are there, they would have seen Violetta sort of like going through the videos again, rewinding, playing it again, rewinding, looking at different angles, arms crossed, and just kind of like very irritatedly tapping one of her feet because she can't pick out anyone to particularly point a gun at.
I think if we remember correctly, the overall mood that Violetta had on the situation last time, she threw a glass against the wall in frustration.
Indeed. I've taken the liberty of inviting Mr. Barstow around. I think this is not an issue that should be handled exclusively by us.
I wasn't fully here for a lot of yesterday, but I think somewhere near the end, something was said about he'd join us if we asked him anyway. So I think he planned to be available to us. That was potentially before we realized Bobby was gone.
Not particularly my forte, but do any of the rest of you have any people that might know how to go about infiltrating our wonderful Nightsiders crew's headquarters or some such? Do we know where they make their abode?
You do. That is in the original briefs that Bobby presented to you with when he was looking at the different factions. There are a couple of places that kind of are more, present. For the Nightsiders, it's a club, more like a dive bar kind of thing. Very, very cheap, very crappy, very grunge rock kind of place. A lot of bikers and that kind of thing. It's called Deep Pockets. It used to be a pool club, like a actual, billiards kind of club. It's changed management like 7,000 times, but the kind of name has kind of stuck.
I could go ahead. I could scout a little. I don't know how much time we have though. They set a time, right? They set a time to meet.
Yeah, the time is after sundown. That's the time you were given.
Because okay, so what we could do is this. I mean, I could scout ahead a little and just kind of be there unseen, and then at least some of us could just go and be visible and be like, hey, we're doing that thing you said, and then that way we at least maybe have one up on them in case it goes south. But maybe we just have to. I don't know. And we could talk. Maybe talking will work. It hasn't yet. But there has to be a time where talking works once.
I mean, I can go ahead.
I'm not sure what use I will be to the rest of you tonight.
we don't have to fight. I mean, I think
No.
the we don't want to.
Just feel a little bit like a liability.
Um,
Oh,
you
don't
can-
say that about yourself. You're being too harsh.
Your compassion is considered. Thank you, Ophelia. I'm very hurt. If fighting does break out, I will be a liability.
Okay. That's fine. I am more than happy to go ahead, knock on their door, and ask for Bobby back. And I can throw a punch if I need to.
Or use your boa to strangle them.
I'm not gonna use my boa. Look, I know that feather boas cannot kill people. They can kill people. They can't kill vampires. Okay, vampires don't breathe. I know this now. That's why I now have chicken wire in it instead.
Good play.
how about this? Okay, Gabriel.
Gabriel?
It's fine. I mean, I'm still salty, but whatever. What if I could go ahead and scout, and then we could be lookouts. Like you could be control. So if something else happens, I can contact you, and then you could. I don't know who else we'd send. Send anyone else in the club to go mess up this club. I don't know. I'm not the thinker. Okay, I'm a sneaker.
I was thinking along the lines of exactly that, Clove, that perhaps Gabriel could make use of my security team and keep an eye on the perimeter.
I am fairly perceptive.
Yes, Gabrielle.
Gives you a really strange look and it's just like, okay, I'm going to ask why.
Because I was gonna eat that guy, and you threw me off him.
Well, once again, I didn't do that. Secondly, look at the state of me. I think I needed it more than you did.
We will agree to disagree.
Well, you can eat the next one and I'll just stand back. Does that make you feel better?
No, but I will remember that. Okay, let's do this.
Are we concerned with their mortal followers?
Why should we be concerned?
Because they know.
That's fine.
What do you... Are you...
You can just
Can
get
I
them.
ask, are you not
No.
afraid of Kine?
Me?
Do you have no fear of Kine at all? None.
No. They're Happy Meals on eggs.
But they do tend to outnumber us, darling.
I think you forget who you're talking to. I can
we
just
have-
charm them.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this once. We have kind of gotten rocked by mortals on more than one occasion. Like last night.
Yeah, that I think it kind of went a different way to how I imagined it would have gone. You just needed to like
Ophelia, you could be crowd control.
always.
Yeah. We should send Ophelia in first for every fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. Like everyone will just
Yeah.
yeah.
There's this little spiders going, yeah, Ophelia. They're fans.
Pom-pom spiders.
Yeah.
My only fans.
I'm going to need to sit you down at some point and explain to you why Kine are frightening, but that's for another day because right now we need to save our friend Bobby.
Okay, so I'll go in and like a scout. And then maybe Ophelia can go in and kind of sense it out and see if she has to do crowd control. And then Violetta, you do talking because you do the talk. You're very good at the talk. And then Gabrielle, you will be control and you bring in the security when needed. You can do that, right? Like you would help us. You wouldn't just like, save stuff just for you. I'm fine. I'm okay. Maybe I'll be better tonight. I think I'm just a little
Clove.
grumpy.
Clove. He's gonna
Yes.
walk over and like he's not gonna touch you. He's gonna walk right up to you though. So they're like he's like borderline too close.
Yes.
I need you to know that with full sincerity, I'm very sorry about what happened. And I'm sorry that I almost hurt you. And I'm very glad that you're not hurt. And thank you for coming to save me. And
An
I
apology.
would really like to not be fighting.
1 second, I have to consult.
Wait, Clove, I have a question.
Okay, wait 1 second. We're having a meeting.
Okay.
Step back
Oh.
from the meeting politely
Yeah.
and turn away.
Okay. We forgive you.
And look at Violetta like,
We forgive you. Okay, it's all set. No bad blood.
Wonderful.
It's totally forgiven. There was a tiebreaker vote. I will not tell you which one broke the tie.
thank you, spiderlings.
Eh,
Oh,
I have a question.
this is how I just
Can you
imagine
teach
that they
me how
talk
to
now.
how to pronounce his name the way you were pronouncing it? Because it was really, really cool.
well, 1 second. Looks over. Okay, technically I have forgiven him. But I will teach you the pronunciation in case you get upset. But it's only for angry stuff.
I think he should be called that all the time though.
Oh.
This is where we're getting
Boy.
bogged down.
Okay, that's okay. We'll do this later. I promise. Ophelia, I would teach you.
Okay.
Gabrielle.
I think that's a plan though. This sounds good.
And we will find out exactly what assistance Mr. Barstow can give us at the same time. Perhaps you can coordinate with him, and Maddie as well can help, at least with the security team taking care of any of the kind that we might need to. I will be honest, I am not very much in the mood for forgiveness. Yes.
That's Maddie.
Inspiring.
Maddie's is the head of the security team. Errol Madison. Maddie.
Does Maddie know? He's fine, correct? And not a ghoul.
He is, yes, he is kind. He is a very expensive security force. So if he has suspicions, he's probably well paid enough that he doesn't ask too many questions.
That's very much the case. It is a asking questions is not in my contract.
As to the rest of the people, I don't know how much they know. Usually, I will go around and give them a bit of a hand wave if I need to.
Okay. Just so that I know what not to say to Maddie if masquerade things are happening, which they are likely going to happen at this place. Just to say.
I think you can use your best judgment at the time. If need be, perhaps I can have a talk without dear Mr. Madison after the fact, but it would need to be within a certain time limit.
The problem resolved after Bobby.
There is a knock
Right.
on the door.
I'll get it. They go out through the door.
It's William Barstow.
And please join us.
He comes in, same as before, just kind of jacket with one of those like portfolio, like, kind of foil carrying case on his back, which very likely may hold a blade of some kind. He sets it aside and puts it like at his feet and sits and says, "You cold?"
Yes. It seems that during our discussions last night and in the ensuing chaos, one of Mr. Billow's people had decided to take one of ours hostage. It seems that they have our friend Bobby. And I'm not very inclined to allow their organization to continue operating much longer. And I believe your organization is of the same mindset.
When you mention Bobby, there is just a little like twitch in the corner of his eye. Up to you if we wish to read more into that. But it takes someone
Right.
says,
Can I?
yeah, roll wits and insight.
Can I use body language
Most definitely.
as well?
Most definitely.
Oh, that's the wrong thing. Nate, wake up.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Uh, 4 messy critical, apparently.
I think, I mean, that you
But
make it
different
very
insight.
apparent to the crowd that you are a kindred. And I think what I'll say is you make it very apparent that you're looking. I think Gabriel just leans forward, and for a moment, like the eyes just gleam and the fangs slightly come out. So it's very
Just a
clear that you're paying very
head
close
cock.
attention. Yeah, cool. If you want to do the creepy Michael Myers head tilt,
Yeah.
up to you.
Creepy head tilt.
He is very much a. How much did you roll?
It was 4 critical. It wasn't as
4
high as it
critical.
could have been.
4 critical. He still rolled higher than you, but I will reward that critical. You notice the twitch. There was a reaction, so, but you can tell that he is very much controlled every aspect of his response after that. Like, that twitch was an anomaly. Like, he clamped that shit down and he is not giving you anything. But there was a reaction.
We know that they were. We do know
There
that they
was
were
a
old
reaction.
friends.
There was a reaction, but he has put that wall up and kind of keeping that distance. I will accompany you, but as I said during our previous conversation, I will leave the handling of the matter to you. I mean, if situation were to break out that will require my intervention, I will intervene. But the handling of the Nightsiders and their membership and all the minutiae of that, as I said, I will leave to your discretion. I do need to observe how you will handle things.
I think that depends entirely on Mr. Billows. Do we have, sort of looking at everyone while she's talking, some idea of the surroundings of this building? Or Clove, have you been anywhere near the subterranean entrances or exits? Deep Pockets, I think is the place is called.
Has she?
You repeat that, please?
Oh, has Clove? Like, I know she actively investigated like the Hakata's place, but I don't know if she would have.
No, I think you focused on the Hakata place
Yeah.
because it
Yeah, so-
was the most difficult one for someone like Bobby to acquire information from.
Yeah. So Clove's like, no, that wasn't my focus before. So like I could do just a quick now, but I just maybe when I just like I'll just go ahead a little and then I can come back if I notice anything. It's something. It's not perfect. No, it's not perfect, but something.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah. No, that's
Go and
no,
come
that's what I.
back, or should you have a head start and then we start
Yeah.
to follow you?
Yeah, I think if I get a head start and I can just kind of suss it out, and if you don't hear from me, I'm just there.
That's fair.
If I notice something that you need to know right away, I will get back to you, or there will be spiders that are making sounds and noises and motions at you. I can make them make an X. Yeah. But she's like, that's like, okay, so that's it. Like either you hear from me or spiders, but if you don't, then I'll just be there. Somewhere watching in case you need me.
With that said, I ask you, who will come with you on this endeavor? Mind you, anyone you don't mention is not there. So be specific.
Let's see. Well, Clove will go first alone with her spiders. I guess like maybe like a half hour out before they come, just to have time to look and see and if yeah.
And I will tell you, William Barca will be there, but he will follow you.
I reckon. What would you reckon you would like to do with the security force, Gabriel?
I don't think it hurts to station a perimeter around the place. I suspect they will also have people around their area.
All right.
I can hang back with Maddie, or I can come with you as a speaking or just an additional face to our group with you, if you like. Like I say, if fighting breaks out, I'm no good to any of you, but not currently.
I think having you on lookout is a much better solution than having you walking into the lion's den. Ophelia
And
and I
also get
yeah.
in quickly if need be. I can also be unseen.
Very good. Ophelia, you and I through the front door.
With Bill. Is it worth getting technological eyes on this? Perhaps Nikki and Ricky could be our eyes for anything.
It's not a bad idea.
I'm sure they would be concerned. Has anybody spoken to them? I was not in a place to be speaking to anybody yesterday. Did anybody tell them what's happened?
If you ask them, Ricky will say that she will come with you.
I did not.
If the offer is made, if choice is given, she's not going to stay behind, sitting on a computer.
Fair play.
Nikki can be convinced not to go, but her first instinct is to follow her twin.
Gonna have them doing trying to get into cameras and such. And
for the record, if they go, they will not have an access to a computer or be able to hack anything. They will be there as a pair of pissed off gangrel.
Can they do that stuff from?
They need their equipment, which is in the basement of the club.
Oh, well, then they can work from here, right? Or do we want them coming with?
Well, we could convince them to split, but I wouldn't want to leave Nikki. Ricky? Wait, hang on. Brain, wake up. Which one is which? Ricky is the
assertive one. Nikki is the jittery one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So Nikki is probably better to us on camera duty. It's whether or not we think Ricky is more used to us as potentially an extra set of claws if needed. She's important to us. It's a risk, but I don't make choices for other people.
In this situation, you have to. Because I, as the storyteller, I'm telling you, make the call if you're bringing her or not.
I think given their closeness to Bobby, she might want to come with. However,
that might make her a liability as well.
Exactly. An angry
gangrel
is perhaps not what we need.
I don't know. Ricky's quite level-headed when needs be.
Why don't they stay with you and then are just deployed if necessary? Maybe that would work. Like they don't have to come in the front door, but they could be a second wave if things get so bad, if it's an emergency.
I have no trouble with either plan. I'm just saying I think one of them should be on cameras.
Okay.
Maybe with a headpiece or something that they could communicate through.
For the record, and to just set the expectation, in terms of being on cameras, at most they will be able to get information through cameras already, street level. They likely will not be able to get you a look inside the club because that it runs its own network, runs its own security that is localized to that place and has its own, wiring and such.
It's not a bad idea considering how messy these things tend to get. It would be really useful if that didn't get out into city records as it would be city CCTV. We've already had glances at Ophelia. We've already had some issues with that of late.
All right.
So my notes tell me.
So
that's good. We'll have them on the camera and it could be outside. We need someone on outside anyway.
It will be Ricky.
I'll be on the inside.
So it will be Ricky with Gabriel on the perimeter and Nikki staying back on the computer.
Yeah, but I would like it if there was even if it's just like a hands-free phone set, like it's just hands-free, someone's on the phone to Nikki. Probably
Well,
Ricky.
it's called
Because then if
Bluetooth.
something happens,
It's called
yeah, because if
Bluetooth.
something happens, we can. I'm always just afraid that something will happen to that poor baby while we're not around.
Unfortunately, the only people that you either leave some of your security detail behind to be in the basement of the club with the very jittery vampire, or that's how honestly your only choice, because Max will not get involved.
I think as long as she has the Bluetooth, she'll be fine. We all have to grow up sometime, so hopefully.
She's our cleanup if things get messy.
I think that
Ricky
is
is with me.
the plan, then.
Are you heading out?
Well, Clove will definitely.
I will ask one question before you do. Is there anyone who wishes to engage in a bit of hunting before you hit this place, or are you going with your current hunger level? Are you maintaining this?
I will blush.
Please make a rouse check for me.
I will go with my current hunger. I'm okay with that.
My hunger increases.
And continuing the trend of tonight, your beast, no reaction. Just that emptiness, that little almost moat of just a void in your chest.
I will not hunt beforehand. This is character building. This is what she's telling herself.
And these psycho eyes are very convincing.
Character building, it's great.
With that, then you depart. Get into Violetta's car. Is it a limo? Is it, something a bit more, let's just say, not as conspicuous?
In my head, I'm thinking of a certain
like
other venture that would not travel in anything less imposing than what she is worth.
There's an extra stretch limo. It just goes on for an entire block.
I have one question about this limo then, because I am excited that I'm going to be in a limo. Is there a pole in it?
No, because this is a businesswoman and not a toy.
No!
Ophelia just opens the door and just goes,
darling, and I'll have a pole installed just for you.
Yes. That would be amazing. I'm so sad, but I'm also very happy that I might have my own limo with a pole in it.
Not Ophelia. Clove. I'm thinking you're going to go Pass Without a Trace, or whatever their name is.
Yeah, she's going to do Unseen Passage.
Pass Without a Trace is spelled in D&D. That's something different.
It's
more or less the same.
Vampire Without a Trace.
It's more or less the same. That will be a rouse check if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that one is a rouse check.
Excuse me, Clove is a level 10 wizard.
Shh.
Could be.
Okay. Nuts. Okay, yeah,
I'm
increase.
gonna guess that's 1 hunger.
Yeah.
You did not feel it at a waking, but now the jittering comes. The image of spinning a victim in a web and just leaving them there, just primed to suck up all those life fluids.
I let them ferment. Okay. No. Okay. All right. No. Okay. We can do that when we come back. Okay. Come on. You gotta focus.
I'm gonna need a wits and awareness from you. As you approach, I'm not gonna make you roll stealth because you are very much invisible, and only a very specialized group of people will be able to detect you.
Okay. Yes. Let me double check my pool because numbers don't stick in my head. Okay. Yes. 1 success.
1 success. You're approaching deep pockets, and already you hear the raucous crowd, the noise, music coming out. Few biker type individuals outside, sitting on like the hoods of cars, leaning on bikes, just shooting the shit and talking amongst one another. And you're approaching the building, and you know how to identify clearly Kine and Kindred. There's something in the body language that makes it very apparent, unless a Kindred is actively blushing. But you see a Kine, clearly, very much clear Kine, is very much standing there, talking with everyone. And as you approach, he, for a moment, turns his head towards you. Almost like looks right in your direction, and then just shakes his head and looks away.
Okay. Okay.
After that, I don't seem to be paying you any attention.
It's very noisy here. I do not like it in here. Okay.
Make now your with an investigation roll for your spiders.
Okay. Yes.
For each success, I will give you 1 question that you can ask about the interior.
Okay. Okay, let's get that right there. All right, be cool. 1.
1. You have 1 question. I mean, you can roll. You can spend willpower to attempt to increase the success of this roll, which might be worthwhile in this situation.
Wait 1 second. Let me just go over to my willpower. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. This is for other people. Okay. How many do I if I spend a willpower?
3 black dice of non-successes.
All right. Do I just hit the reroll failures or should I just type it again?
Yeah, just reroll failures. It's easier.
Okay. Let's be cool. Okay. Yes. 1.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes,
Ask your question. You have 1 question.
This is garbage. Okay. I think she's just taking a second. All right. What's the most important thing? She wants. She would like what she's trying to sense out is security. She's trying to sense out. How about this? Let's see, this is too much. What eyes are here?
Okay. Inside, it is very much an active club. I will give you this one for free. You can see Bobby. He seems to be sitting at a table near the back of the room. There is no one is, he's not tied up. He's not been bound in any way. He is just sitting calmly. And he doesn't seem to be having any of the usual kind of zombie-like behavior with someone who's been dominated. He seems very alert of everything going around him. It's very much a party. There's people playing pool, people, playing darts, drinking, laughing, everything.
It's horrible.
You see a few cameras around the place. You also immediately clock there's a few people almost at key play positions that you can know with, and this is just call it basic competence from someone who is used to watching people with Clove. You can immediately tell that they are not actively participating. Like they look like they're part of the crowd, but they're keeping an eye on things. You also notice that sitting on the bar with a pint glass full of blood is a dude in the ever iconic leather-clad vestments that you could tell. This screams Bruja.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of what she expected.
In total, there are about 20 people in this entire place. Outside, about 10 more.
Okay. Then since it's about what would be expected, that she hasn't seen anything that's like that she can figure out is worrisome, she's gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna stay here then.
Once everyone arrives and whatever goes on, you may make another roll as the situation changes.
Yeah. She's very much like, I'm sure something's going to happen, but I do not know what it is. So it's best for me just to stay hidden. And she finds a corner and is grumpy because it's loud and people are like laughing and having like a good social time.
That's a big no-no.
Ugh.
Very well. The rest of you arrive later. Yes.
I would like to have an open phone call to Gabriel. My phone is on and called to him and in my purse.
So, you can have a Bluetooth as well if you want.
They don't need to know that somebody's listening. My phone's just in my purse. And the call is connected to Gabriel.
I will at times do ask Gabriel to make a roll, because being in the purse, some sound might be blocked and some things might come through muffled. So likely we'll need a roll to pick up details. But
Fair.
We'll get to that when we get to that. You arrive, I'm going to guess that Gabriel and most of the security, stand outside, get off the car. I'm guessing you're going to be invisible, or will you be standing among them as you are?
I think Gabriel blends in with the security team, probably.
Ricky stands with you.
Suited and booted.
Ricky stands with you. No indication from her that she is going to fly off the handle, but the night is young, and she is a gangrel.
Pat on the shoulder.
She kind of shakes your hand off.
Offer her a fist instead.
Does not respond. Her eyes is locked on the front door of that club. Ophelia, you and Violetta disembark. You see this partying crowd outside. As you approach, you see someone gives them a signal and they open a path for you. The door to Deep Pockets is open to you.
Yeah, I need to. Yes, I need to not be flattered by that, because they should always open doors for us.
You're not wrong. We enter.
Oh, I will during the limo ride, whether or not you guys are embarrassed or not, I feel they would have gotten changed.
Okay.
Like full on, just like take off, like
Yeah, the full Monty.
Yep. Okay. So I just thought
What is the attire for the evening then?
so she's gonna be wearing well, kind of like a very skimpy sort of cocktail sort of dress that's quite figure hugging, and it's gonna be like a really long, like I can't think what the word is. Brain wake up. Yes, slit. That goes like basically. If it was towards the front, it would basically show everything. But that's how far it goes up the side.
Full Chun-Li. Got it.
Right now, but it's just on one side, and it's all like glittery and fabulous. And
Really not the right crowd for that kind of dress,
don't care.
but okay.
I need to make a statement.
You come in, as I said, you come in and there is people playing pool, some people sitting at tables. I was playing dart, out in the bars drinking. There is a guy in jeans and a leather jacket just sitting on the bar with a glass of blood.
Walk straight up to the man sitting on the bar with a glass of blood.
He takes a sip and says, "Welcome. What can we do for y'all?"
I believe you called us about our dear friend Bobby.
Yeah, that wasn't me. That was Bart.
Where do we find the illustrious Mr. Billows this evening?
You hear a voice coming from somewhere saying, "I'm here." Your man is at the back of the room. Say hi, Bobby. And Bobby just kind of waves at you all, like giving you all like a almost like a nervous look, like I don't know what the fuck is going on here.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I didn't ask my hand to do that.
So, I'm sure you have questions. I have one pressing question myself, which is why we asked Bobby here to come pay us a visit. This is why are you all so interested looking into us? Because your man's been asking a lot of questions, and I get real jittery around questions.
Take a look around. There's Kine here, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Takes a look around. Man at the bar, drinking
For the
blood.
record, you see it's just a ground floor. There is a set of stairs that leads to a potential second floor. But the only thing you see above you are basically rafters.
I will raise your question with a question. Do you completely forget exactly what happened not just a few years prior? And looking around the club, open displays of Kine and everyone mingling.
Oh, yeah, the kindred you see around, full display. Not even Blush of Life. By the way, did you turn on Blush of Life, Violetta? Or are you coming full vampiric?
Full vampiric, because these people are aware of things, so there's no need to Blush of Life here.
There's also a risk of more hunger as well. Very good.
Indeed.
It says, yeah, I am well aware of everything that transpired. I failed to see your point.
So what exactly is your aim or goal, Mr. Billows?
You make it sound like I have some grand scheme of conquering shit. Now, I just want to keep this place safe and, be a cool, nice place for my guys to hang out and their folks to hang out and just be, a very chill environment. We're very, very calm people here. As you can see, we're all upstanding members of society.
Clearly. Very upstanding.
I apologize that I'm not standing face to face. I don't take this the wrong way, but I don't trust being standing within eye contact of a Venturer and a Toreador. I like to keep my wits about me.
Fair play to you. So you want to keep everything nice and easy for everybody.
Very much so.
What happens when one of your people mess up, as we want to do every now and then?
You take care of it.
And
We have rules for that kind of thing.
Enlighten me.
We deal it as the law instructs. If someone commits a terrible act, let's not mince words, someone gets killed. If they are, if they're kind, we turn them to the authorities. If they're not, put a stake in them and put them in the ground for a long while. Pay their dues in imprisonment.
And what happens one day when we have perhaps some not so friendly kind that see your wonderful establishment and your lofty ideals of us working together and being kumbaya by a fire inside, and they decide to put a bomb in one of your buildings?
That's their prerogative. I am not working under the paranoia of what may happen. I work under what is happening and what I can control. And I can control that I can trust the people in this room and that they are very much interested in cooperation. Ain't that right, LT? And a man dressed in almost like that kind of camo military jacket, and again wearing jeans, a sleeveless shirt, and that on top with dog tags. He's a black man with very much short cropped hair, with a body like the full mutton chops. Looks very strange. But he's like, yeah, very true. It doesn't take any role from all you to know that LT is Kine. And he's sitting basically close to the man that is sitting on the bar.
The problem is that these things don't stay small and they don't stay local. Have you given any consideration to what happens if we appear on the nightly news?
My guy, the mortals already know we are out here. The jig is up. Going back to the same old bullshit is not gonna do a thing. New ways, new ideas rule the night now. I mean, have you seen Have you seen a prince or a baron or some other bullshit from the old days kind of running around the place? No. That shit don't work here anymore.
Perhaps that has a little something to do with, I don't know, the Second Inquisition showing up and decimating most of us.
Yet they left a bunch of us alone. Because as long as we don't get into the whole thing of we're gonna rule you, they really tend to not give two shits. Of course, you gotta learn to keep under the radar. You know, I'm not gonna throw stones or anything, but I remember news reaching me of, a certain person jumping off of a roof towards a biker, crashing on the ground, and then, claiming that it was all for a movie.
Did you see the trailer?
Yeah, kind of cheap.
The budget's not what it could have been.
I'm working on it, darling.
I mean, fair play to you of managing to hire someone to turn that into, sell your story, but you have put yourselves in more, just with that, put yourselves in more danger of discovery than me and my crew.
I don't know if you're a fan of Star Trek at all, but your logic
More of a
is
Star Wars guy.
unsound.
I'm more of a Star Wars guy.
Understood that. Don't tell anyone.
Someone could walk in off the street and see your man sitting on the bar counter drinking blood in front of everyone.
As far as everyone knows, that's a Bloody Mary. Or sangria. Or he's just a really big fan of tomato juice. You have to get really close or be like us and be able to smell it so you realize he's drinking a pint of blood. Not to mention, man, that's disgusting. We both know that blood's gone sour like millisecond after you poured it. He just goes, I like it. There's no accounting for taste.
Bobby,
Yeah. Yeah.
are you ready to leave?
Oh, yes, very much. Mm-hmm. I don't want to offend anyone here, but this freaks me the fuck out. So I'm ready to go anytime.
Did they do anything to you?
He looks at it and says, no. No, not really. I mean, I would have liked not to be to be brought here. But other than that, I mean, they've been kind. No issue.
I think we'll take our leave if you don't mind.
You are very free to do so. Next time you have any questions about my folk, just come ask. You can talk to my man LT. He'll answer any question you have.
We'll collect Bobby and walk out the door.
You, Bobby, Ophelia, and William Barstow has been following you and seeing this entire thing and not said a word.
Once we're out, because I'm assuming that the group of God, I wanted to say agents, but they're not agents. My security detail. I'm going to assume that they did a good job and have surrounded the place instead of just standing out in front.
Yeah, they look like a menacing men in black, just looking at the place. For the most part, the people, the gangbangers outside, the bikers and such, they look fairly relaxed. Like don't seem to have any indication that the grunts surrounding the place have them worried.
I will sort of pick up the phone out of my purse. Did that sound as delusional as I thought it sounded?
I think it might have been worse. I think it sounded idealistic.
I don't know if you are around anywhere here, Clove, but if you are, my vote is that we take care of the problem right now.
I think actually Clove her plan would have been to stay there for maybe another hour after you left to listen.
As things were happening, or as folks are leaving, and you see that as they leave, your spiders perceive that as they leave, things kind of fall back into the place they were before, almost as if the party was practiced. And it was just, it's a dance.
Yeah.
But now that that's happened, you can make another roll again if you wish.
Yeah. Her thought is if they got Bobby out and they seem to have let them leave, she would like just to, if as far as she's concerned, no one has noticed her, she wants to see how everything is once they leave.
Make your roll.
Okay. What would that be?
Wits and investigation, or if you prefer another role, another attribute than investigation, go for it as well.
I'm gonna take. I don't think no. Well, Hey, actually, can I make an argument for insight for a vibe check?
Of course.
Just to feel like now, since you mentioned that, like it seems to have changed, like the bars. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. That is. Okay, and that's all right. 4 success.
4 success. Again, 4 successes, 4 questions.
Okay. Okay, so first, to follow up on that, it seems folks seems to have changed. Like this, what seems to be their level of like, because it's not a party bar anymore. What is the emotion here? Is it like focused? Is it like what is it? What are they now? Now that they don't have to put a show on anymore?
Put it on a phrase, it's the calm before the storm. Like the meeting has happened. Mm-hmm. There will be consequences. Yes. And they're just poised to be ready to react if the consequences are now.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. I think this might be a separate question, but it follows from there. Does Clove get the sense? So Clove gets the sense that this is going to be a reaction, not an action. They are ready if something happens, but they are not planning on doing something now.
Yes, they are not. Okay. You don't sense any hostility, but it's a readiness of if you fuck around, you will find out.
Okay. All right. Okay, 2 left. Okay, third, she would like to take another slower look around at like what their security setup is in there. Besides like the people watching the doors, and did you say there was basic security cameras or am I right? She wants to take another look around and just see if there's something that she missed that first time.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll take one of your successes.
Okay.
For you to make the investigation roll. And turn that success into 2 extra dice for you.
Okay.
If you wish to exchange your last success, I can give you another 2 dice if you want. Or
no, that's okay.
Or you can ask another question.
You said two extra dice, right?
Yeah.
If I do, yeah. Okay. Let's do that. We'll do that.
You have asked 2 questions. You have 2 remaining. You can ask those questions or exchange those successes for 2 die. 1 success for 2 dice for that roll if you wish.
Okay. No, I'm gonna save that last question and just take the one. Okay.
Make the
Because this
wisdom
is pretty
and
good.
investigation with 2 extra dice.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. Okay. Yes. 3 success.
3 success. Basic things you see. Yes, the cameras are on point. There are about 5. You notice them now that you have kind of seen the flow of this dance.
It's also quieter.
There's clearly 5 people that are in charge of security in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that they are located on the edges of the room, like near a front window, near a wall, facing the door. Basically, if someone runs, it's kind of said in a way that if someone runs inside, they'll find themselves surrounded by 5 guys.
Okay, they'll converge kind of situation.
Yeah, they'll converge.
Okay.
Combining the vibe check and everything in this role, the guy sitting at the bar is you get the from his body language and vibe. This is the only one that is just poised for violence. If something breaks out, he will be the most dangerous person in the room. The second person you get a vibe, like a hostile vibe from, is LT.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, you get a different vibe from him. You see him go behind the bar, pull a gun, like check it and load it, and like put it in a holster. But the look on his face and his body language, like his actions are preparing for violence. The state of him, complete serenity.
Okay.
And because you have that other success, your spiders look up and standing on the rafters, you see a shadow.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. She's just kind of like, all right.
You have one final question. I gave you that little vibe there as a freebie. You have one last question for your insight.
Would this? I'm gonna. If this is not possible, that's fine. This is the first thing. Would Clove be able to stay long enough to hear Bart respond to that situation? Like talk to the people after the situation happened?
Yes.
Yeah, I think what she wants to do is just hear what he has to say after, as far as he's concerned, we're gone.
Bart very much just sits on the rafter, like legs dangling.
Yeah.
Goes, well, that went better than I expected. There's a little laughter in the room. The guy at the bar, sitting on the bar goes, "Oh, we've not heard the last of them. I'm guessing they're going to be trouble." So, yeah, we always knew there were going to be problems, but we'll deal with it. I'll just need a little convincing. Just, what is it? Do you said LT? People just need to learn to see the light. Amen, brother.
Okay.
He is very optimistic that things will work out. But you do sense that he is not taking their warnings. He's not dismissing them. Because after he responds, he just stands back up on the run and says, "Well, I'll stick around here for now, and we'll see how the night goes then." He goes, "LT, Scraps, see how it goes. But keep an eye out."
Did you say Scraps?
Scraps. The guy with the guy with the pint of blood just raises a glass and takes a sip.
Okay. Clove feels that she's pushed her luck pretty hard.
It's Scraps, SCRAPS, like scrap.
Fantastic. Yeah, Clove loves it. Okay, so basically with her Nosferatu vibe check, she will leave. And as soon as she can feel safe enough to kind of decloak, like basically I think wherever, like far enough out where the rest are right now, she would like to kind
you
of
predator shimmer and
yeah. I like she gets a little too close to Gabriel to do this.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello. He does not react because
Oh, no.
I mean,
Okay, later.
I suppose I could roll like a wits awareness, but
let's have you make a wits awareness versus dexterity and
I think that's
subterfuge.
fair. I think that's fair.
Fantastic.
Or stealth. I
was
think
gonna
it's
say
stealth. Is there stealth?
it's stealth, yes. It's
Dexterity and stealth.
dexterity and stealth.
I want to point out that we're not going to be just standing outside within.
No, I'm guessing you got up back in the
me
car to
mugging it.
discuss whatever you want to discuss away from prying eyes and ears. You see that Bob. You see that as Bobby approaches, Ricky breaks like formation with the guards. Approaches him. They hug. They talk for a moment and get in the car.
I can't roll for shit today, but I still beat you.
Yeah. That's a 3 against the 2, huh?
You hear the footsteps coming.
So he just. You okay, Clive?
Kind of a bitch! Uncloaks. Fine. I said I forgave you, so I can't be upset.
Pointedly
Okay, we
did not put my sense the unseen on just in case it decloaked you at the wrong time.
Oh. I guess.
Not how that works, but okay.
No, it does. In the thing, it says if you are perceived, you stop being invisible.
Okay. I'll be separately
combination.
I'll be separately angry with you later. This is important. Like, they're ready. We can't do anything. Hey, where's Ophelia and Violetta?
In the car.
Yeah. Okay. Hey. So I stayed back a little.
Are you listening?
I stayed back a little.
Yes.
That was kind of like an act for us. They're kind of like ready. I think they're a little arrogant. Like they're all like pretty sure, but also like they're ready. Like they're ready. I kind of looked at their security and they've got cameras and they got like 5 guys that like go at you. And hey, did you know that guy was up on the roof? Like he was up on the rafters. The guy you were talking to, he was up in the rafters. Anyway, okay, so here's the thing. Like, they're all about like, oh, they'll see the light and they'll come around or they'll do. What?
I get the feeling that he's the kind of man that stands, sits, and chairs. You know the kind.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like that's what he's doing, but with rafters. Yes. But I think they're not gonna do anything, but they're ready. Like they're ready. Okay. Like they're ready to rumble. So
they knew that their current community choices wouldn't go down very well with the majority of the rest of us. They knew that. They invited us anyway. Don't know quite what to make of that. They're quite prepared for us if we decide to try to stop them. I think again, my read from the brief conversation that you had is optimism, not idealism, but not a strong belief that this is the correct way, just this is their way. It's how it felt, and they don't want anybody to stop them doing it. I don't think they really care that there might be consequences for the rest of us. But then aren't we all a little bit inclined to protect our own before anyone else? Just to play devil's advocate here.
I will say this as delicately over a phone line as I can.
You're already in the car.
We're all in the
Yeah,
car now.
you all already left, so there's no need for you to be on the phone. Kind of can congregate again back. But that's what I said. Outside of prying eyes and ears.
Okay, so if we're in the car, there was a reason I was able to take care of my dearly departed father, and that was arrogance. Arrogance that his way is obviously without question, and no one could ever touch him. I relied on humans to do that. Arrogance is the same as stupidity. They're being just as arrogant as my dear old father. The only difference is that their arrogance will lead to a second purge of our city, not just their own deaths.
Agreed. This is dangerous. It'd be one thing to be doing this underground somewhere outside of the city, where only they get into trouble if they get caught. Not
You say they're
against.
prepared, Clove.
They're I think they're like ready to rumble, but I don't think they're like not like they're on a crusade. They're not gonna like march. They're just ready if someone comes at them, and they seem very assured of their beliefs. It feel gosh, I don't want to say cult, gang maybe. It has that feeling. They are all on the same page, it seems, and that page is their right. And if someone comes in and tells them to stop it, they are going to hit you with a baseball bat to start with. I don't know. I don't know if I like to think talking can help. I like to think talking can help, but they're very sure. They're very sure. They have a deep belief in that they're everybody else is wrong. And I don't, I'm not a good talker. So I wouldn't know what else to do. I don't know. They're dangerous in a different way.
What is how is Bill doing in this conversation? Does he
Very quiet. He's observing you.
If he's in the car with us, I don't think I would be talking about dear old daddy. I wouldn't point that out. I don't know.
We can say he stays outside for a moment while you discuss as a group. He's outside catching up with Bobby, basically.
Ah.
I'd be interested to hear what Bill thinks about that conversation. Did anybody see any of the EOnates in there? We know that they're working together.
I can tell you from the outside, they were part of the group standing outside. There's a bunch of younger looking
kids.
Biker type people having a bit of fun.
And we know that, and we do know that they are legitimately still kids, a lot of them, because they're from.
Not anymore. I mean, time has passed.
Not a lot though. A few years.
They were when they were turned by a very evil person who turned around 16. Now they're 18, 19, no longer kids. I mean, forever kids, but age-wise, no longer kids.
My instinct is to use resources to acquire some useful tools that can be used to disable this group permanently. I don't trust that their idealism is going to be helpful to us in any way.
My issue is, let's say for a minute we're all in agreement and we want to remove the issue before us. How thoroughly and how fast? Because 1, 2, 3 people get away, we make some pretty angry enemies that do not operate necessarily on the same laws that we do, in the same nighttime hours that we do, and we fuck ourselves. That's if we're all in agreement. There's not an argument to be made that this isn't dangerous and isn't definitely putting all of us in danger. I agree. Maybe there's a middle ground somewhere.
This is sounds weird, but since they are not going to actively do anything right now, what if we figure out our other problems while keeping an eye on them?
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking as well.
We
Why
might be
do-
able
Also-
to. Yeah.
Why don't we just kind of, whilst we just keep an eye on them, just let them make their own mistakes and potentially get killed by their own kind that they put trust in?
If the problem takes care of itself, it takes care of itself, but that might get messy for the rest of us. That's the problem. Ophelia, the problem with Kine is they outnumber us
Mm-hmm.
in
I know.
like ants to a person,
I know.
and these ants aren't your regular garden ants. These are
They're like
much
flying ants.
stronger. These are stronger. These will kill you.
Fire ants.
They
Fire.
know who we are, where we live, what can hurt us, and when we're
Mhm.
weak.
Exactly, which is why we keep an eye on them, but we don't actually engage with them unless you really, really have to. And the problem might solve itself anyway. And
I think I'd like to know more about why this is how they want to operate.
you can ask them. They're pretty open to us going and asking them questions personally, so you can go ask them personally. You want.
I don't really want to get myself wrapped up in all. I just am curious as an individual. The need to know things is not a very helpful thing in this moment.
You know, I've only been looking at the face on the look on Adrian's face, and I'm just guessing Violetta's been horrified by all this. There is a middle ground.
There's no middle ground. There's the Venture way. um,
Hello, I'm a Malkavian. I like the weird bit in the middle.
Maybe
I
this.
think.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Oh, okay. Well, maybe this. Okay, so I bring up the other groups also because this isn't my strongest thing up but a bit, but maybe it's just a power issue. If we have more of the groups on our side, well then they'll have to listen to us.
Didn't get the impression that he listens to anybody.
Oh yeah. No, I mean listen, but also sometimes listen is just like going in and kicking ass. Like listen can also be action, but if we actually have the numbers and the power, they can think whatever they want, but if they endanger everybody else, then we'll have the ability to balance that however that is.
Yeah.
I am very interested in the fact that all of you are so much more merciful than I am, which I have to give you credit for. If you want peace, prepare for war. We keep an eye on them, and I will begin trying to make preparations to buy sleeping gas and those bullets that burn when you fire them.
Oh,
No, I'm not
okay.
full of mercy. I just have
An extra home.
well that too. No, I healed that. That's not so bad right now. Some of those kids down there who aren't necessarily children anymore were never given the chance to do anything else. It'd be good to know what their overall outlook is. And your conversation, as we now know, was very staged. So we can police ourselves and we have rules.
No, there's a
That's fine.
misunderstanding. What was staged is the party. Like the party vibe is the staged part. Everybody in there was very much ready to roll. They just kept it in a light mood. That's what I meant with Clove in terms of the staging. The conversation, you have no evidence that it was staged in any way. Wish to clarify that.
We do have access to what are they called now? We do have access to the codex now. Some extra eyes and ears on the situation.
I can talk to them. Yeah. Yeah. Here, I have a question. Why would we have to act right away with this? I think we need information and we need to keep an eye, but I also don't think we should they kind of want us to come in. They kind of want to rumble. So
I'm
maybe
with
we just
you, Clove.
play it low and slow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I
Because I
agree
can
with
do
you.
that. I'll ask even if they can't, I can keep an eye. I can do some research while
Get
we're
some
doing other
information,
things.
And
Also,
I'll
the
try and
fanaticism.
see if Maddie can get better bullets.
I mean, I think we can do both at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Information
Oh.
and fire bullets. And then we'll decide what we use and when.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also think we were talking at the beginning of all of this of trying to ally ourselves with everybody. They're not without anybody who can fanaticize that amount of people in such a short time is dangerous, but potentially useful as an ally.
Yeah.
Maybe they just need direction.
Okay. That sounds good. This sounds good. Yeah. Like this is smart and not too None of us got injured tonight, and I think that's pretty good for us.
Mm-hmm.
That's a win.
Yes.
The
Well,
door
we
to
say
the
that, we don't
car.
know what
The
Bill
door
thinks.
opens on the car, and Bill looks in and says, "Have you made a decision?"
Yes.
Yes.
What is it?
You want to say
We
you're good at
believe
words.
that they are being very reckless and will potentially put us all in danger. Our decision at the moment seems to be to keep eyes on them and to prepare, very strongly prepare for, in my opinion, an eventuality that we would have to remove
Eradicate them.
But
No
for now,
final decision
we
on that then.
are going to get some eyes on the situation.
You are ready to make a final decision on the situation. Let me know. I am keen to hear your thoughts.
We do not have enough information for a final decision, sir. It would be imprudent. I know when we have enough information, and we do not have enough information. And as a group, we have information, and then we make final decisions. So don't rush us.
I'm not rushing. I'm merely asking.
Oh, I misread your tone. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll go back.
I seem to have caused offense. I will retire for the evening. And he takes a step back, turns away, and disappears.
I think I did that. I think I handled that well. Don't worry. I think he was trying to insult our coterie. Just because you say you don't mean to insult doesn't mean that you don't mean to insult. So
you told him, Clove.
I look at is Nikki with
Ricky is
Bobby.
with Bobby. They're both staring at deep pockets, like just shaking their heads, like I had no idea.
I have never tried before, but have any of you heard of trying to pry into someone's head to see if they've been programmed?
Like telepathy?
Would I need telepathy to do this? I don't have any access.
Rules wise, I tell you will need telepathy.
How does one find out if someone has been programmed?
Normally, you don't know because that is called submerged directive.
Yeah.
It only kicks in under specific circumstances. So unless you meet those circumstances, or you with, I would say I will rule that with telepathy, you may be able to detect an abnormality in the thought process. You might be able to see the tampering.
Okay.
I don't have access to anything like that, unfortunately.
I would say read auras would also give you a bit of insight, but telepathy for sure.
Since the beast wouldn't do anything, would it?
No, since the beast is very specific, the beast.
That's why. Okay, that's the closest. It's the closest Clove can get.
Maybe we can try and work on
Peer into the void for Bobby, but I don't know that it would help me discover any sort of submerged directives.
You want me to put a couple spiders on the case?
Going to do in the future.
I could just have a couple spiders track them.
Well, maybe that might be prudent for at least for a while.
Okay. And they can't really stop him, but they could see if he was doing something like I could tell them to tell me if he's like doing something hinky.
One more thing. Although I'll sort of like signal to the driver that they can probably start taking off.
As your driver, as you give the notice, your driver says, "Sir, someone's approaching." Bobby knocks on the door on the window.
Open the door.
Bobby says, "We got incoming."
Get out the car.
You lean to look out, and walking very calmly towards you with a bottle of mineral water, like just drinking, is LT. And he's walking towards the limo and says, "Folks, just some contact details. Bart said you'd be interested in these." Has a little card with numbers.
I'll take them. Sure.
Anywho, have a good evening, folks.
Thank
And he
you.
begins to turn around.
You too, Mr. Mutton Chops.
He stops when he hears that.
How the war starts.
Just shakes his head and keeps walking.
What? They were so obvious.
They were.
Yeah. I didn't get a look at him until then. That was one of the people you spoke to.
Mm-hmm.
If he had been wearing a leather jacket as well, I'd be tempted to call him a leather daddy, but it was none of that.
No, it wasn't really
Gabriel
my thing.
just leans back out the window to assess and is like,
It's a guy, just a dude.
doesn't say anything.
And very clear to all of you that he's kind.
Can Clove see the card? She just wants to investigate it like real hard.
And it says Bart Billows and his phone number.
Bart Billows is a vampire.
Bart Billows.
It says Bart
Blood
Billows,
expert.
Vampire Esquire.
Okay. She doesn't see anything like odd or off or anything like twinges.
No, nothing you can see at a simple glance. It says Bart Billows as his number, and there is a number for the pockets. And their opening times, basically.
Okay. Here. You can have it back.
Do we?
I think it's normal.
Are we associated, or do we know of any Tremere that are still around?
You had a friend, but they.
Not that you know of.
That would be extremely helpful if we could find one. I'll make a note.
That might be worth something to ask your different allies.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Clove,
Yeah.
you might know. Do they have like a vampire Facebook?
What, at the
Oh.
bar?
No, I mean I just mean in general.
Oh, hey, is that a dig at Shrekneck? Shrekneck, because that's not cool.
No. No, it wasn't a dig at that at all.
Oh.
I
We
don't
hadn't-
know
we didn't-
anything
We
about
haven't
that.
covered that with her yet. We didn't cover
Oh.
that whole situation with her yet.
Then nothing
is-
happened. No, don't worry about it. There is no vampire Facebook, and there never was. There was never any sort of network. Don't worry about it.
We'll explain it to you later. The whole thing that didn't
Insight,
happen.
because you answered too quickly, Clove.
Well,
Ophelia is like, I don't believe you. Well, Gabriel's like, I'll tell you about it later. We'll cover it later. It's not a, oh no, okay, never mind.
But you want to roll? I don't know.
The driver is what the driver says. Do we leave, Miss?
Bobby,
Yes.
Mickey, everybody in.
Bobby goes in and just along the way just tells you how weird that was.
Do you know there was a
Did
guy
they-
on the rafters, Bobby?
Oh yeah, I know, but they very politely asked me not to say anything. I didn't end up being, surrounded like 10 to 1.
Yeah,
I
no.
decided
that-
maybe it was a good idea not to say anything.
No, that was smart. You handled that real well. That guy was on the rafters. What kind of guy just hangs out on the rafters?
I
The
mean,
Someone who
important
thinks
thing
they're
is
Batman.
that
no,
you are
kidnapping
back.
aside, the guy's kind of nice. Like, not a dick, very open, very polite. I've met worse Bruja in my life.
They didn't give you any pamphlets or literature. Have you heard the good news?
I asked the same thing, not a cult apparently. Just, you know what vibe I got from them? Like a neighborhood watch.
So like a cult.
Especially because they've been in my bit of research for the thing I gave you and asking the younger gangrel with them, they've been just kind of cleaning out, like just clearing out drug dens and so on. Just like cleaning the streets around them. So it feels a lot like a fucking neighborhood watch kind of thing.
That would be a good resource if it just wasn't so. These are thinking thoughts. I don't like it.
I've heard of these in America. They're called housing associations, right? They fine you for random things, and they set up neighborhood watches that appear at your door for silly.
HOAs. They're one of the most evil and insidious forces there are.
Well, again, I circle back to fanaticism does not necessarily make them evil, but it does, well, evil subject. They're reckless and they're dangerous. If we could perhaps solve those things.
All right. What's we're gonna do? We're gonna
friends.
research and think and see if we can redirect the river.
Yeah, kind of like okay, like redirecting a river. But hopefully we don't have to redirect a river because that's not easy.
And then if I can't,
Not-
I guess
not
we
impossible.
shoot the river with fire bullets.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, this is good. We don't want to waste a resource, but we have to be ready.
Also remember that I think future dealings, perhaps, if tensions get high, may be worth utilizing one of our safest spaces where everybody is put on equal footing. Everybody that isn't a Kine with a gun and big muscles. Yeah.
I will stay outside.
I have a question because this is something that I'm not able to do. Is everyone in our vehicle who we expect to be in our vehicle? I'm looking at Gabriel.
Fancy. I already turned that on when
Make a roll.
Clove came in. So wits awareness.
Yes.
7. Fine. Do the road. Will I roll more than like a 2 today? No. 2.
You do not perceive anyone else in the car.
I willpower. Let's willpower.
Clove also has sense the unseen too. If you need to.
Well,
Same.
Fake, man. Today is not a good day, okay? Still 2.
do not perceive anyone else in the car.
Okay, now I'm doing it.
I look around and I just go, well, there's also not a lot of room left in here, so they'd have to be close to one of us. But I don't see anybody.
The lack of room is one of the reasons there is no pole.
I go around touching the random spaces in between people.
You do not see anyone.
Paranoia.
Make sure I have the right
That's
thing.
good.
Okay.
Also, Vampire Facebook, what would the La Sombra do?
They just have those Microsoft men as profile pictures and key smash
Why,
instead of
what's wrong
actual
with the
bios.
Sombra?
What's not wrong
How
with them
much,
in technology?
Clove?
5.
There is no one in the vehicle with you.
Okay.
Excellent.
But Clove got like real in corners and stuff. Like as you're talking, Clove is climbing over the seats. She's fitting under them if she can. She's looking at the driver and like around the shoulders and kind of giving him a pat down.
Gabriel's trying to talk and she's just in his lap for a
Yeah.
minute and crawling across
Yeah.
everyone. It's like,
For a moment, the driver goes, ah!
Ah, okay. Ah, ah. Rude.
it's like, ah.
You're clean.
Ophelia, as what's wrong with them? Nothing in particular is particularly right or wrong with them, but they have they don't work well with technology. Imagine like your granddad was just blowing up phones whenever he tried to touch them.
Bobby goes, that's not the right comparison. That's wrong.
She looks at Bobby.
That's wrong. No. Kid, La Sombra make technology fail. Like, cameras don't perceive them. Their phones just stop working. They short circuit anything technological. Like modern technology, it just fails. They sit on a computer, high chances are that computer is going to shut off.
Boomers.
I wonder what they were like with old technology then.
That did blow up, I think.
I mean,
Just
they
to
were
have a lot
really
of
good in the
fail
Middle
safes.
Ages when the highest technology was a fucking pulley. It's just circuits and modern things and like things that work with electricity that don't really agree with them.
Am I
Also, they're
right in
quite
thinking that they
insufferable.
also
They always
don't-
think their way is the best way, that they should be ruling everybody and taking care of
I
everything.
mean, they're all
Honestly,
religious. They're
quite an
all
insufferable
they're all Bible thumpers, but that's another conversation.
Just stare at the Ventru like,
kind.
But there's
Completely
several
oblivious.
clans that have a similar vibe. Not that I have much relation to my own, but I'm pretty
really
sure it's not
sucks.
one of them.
I feel sorry for them. They can't use technology. They can't take selfies. Like,
Well, they also, if I'm right, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but they don't have very good relationships with mirrors either.
They have no reflections.
So they cannot. Taking a selfie wouldn't make any difference. They can't see themselves anyway in mirrors and things.
What's the guy from The Cure? Robert Smith? Is that it? It's Robert Smith, right? Yeah. They'll have like
Yeah.
Robert Smith hair going on.
Yeah.
Just all of them.
It's still messy.
Yeah.
They're like, that'll do.
You
I'm sure
get
it looks
back.
good somehow.
You get back to the club, and the only thing I will tell you, everything is calm. You know, there's a bright light. Everything just fine. Who here is blushing? You feel like a cold wind, like a cold breeze that no one else feels because you're all cold anyway.
mhm.
But you feel like almost like a cold spot.
I still have Sense the Unseen up.
True. You have you get out of the car, the entire street is covered in shades.
Whoa.
They look like faceless men made of shadows, like just standing shadows all over the streets.
Uh,
I don't like what I feel right now. I
don't reach for
Clove, you
Ophelia,
also have
and I just
Sense the
pull her
Unseen.
towards me.
You also see this.
I'm not turning on my
everywhere.
I'm not turning my eyes on. I don't like the
No.
feeling.
It's not good.
I-
It's not good.
They're not moving.
What
They're not
is
doing anything. They're just
not good?
standing.
I feel There's like
Shades everywhere.
They're not moving.
everywhere.
You don't need to roll, and an exact number would escape you, but hundreds.
They're everywhere. And he's like just staring up and down the street and going like, we should get Ricky. We should get Ricky, and don't want her left alone in this. Like dart off to go get Nicky.
You're going to the club, and they are in the club. So
in the club, they're in the club. They're in the club.
Everywhere. They're even in the lift when you're going down the basement.
No, they're in the club getting tipsy.
There's two shades there standing with you.
He does the awkward like.
When you get down, you find Nikki at the computer, just occasional doing like, just for the rest. Everything else is just at the computer says, "Oh, you're back. Is Ricky okay? Is Bobby okay? Is everything fine?"
Yeah. They're with us upstairs. Come on. Let's go say hi to them. Things are weird right now.
Make hay. Let's make a persuasion check, please.
I've been rolling so terribly.
You're basically coming. We're cool, but we need to go.
Yeah. Hey, everything's great. Let's just get the hell out of here.
Trying to be like, he's not necessarily trying to be like, yeah, everything is fine. He's very much like, we need to just go like now. Let me find my roll. What am I rolling? Persuasion.
Charisma.
Charisma. Can I make a roll for manipulation instead of charisma?
No.
Yeah.
No. You're trying to reassure.
Hey.
Great.
It is enough. She goes, okay, yeah, let's go. And she just, first shuts off the computer and everything, and then goes with you. She cannot see the fact that the entire room is covered in shades.
Well, I did, I think Clove and Gabriel both said it when Nikki was with us, so Nikki knows. So he's like, Nikki would have gone and got her sister, so I just bring her sister to her. That seems fair.
Ricky can't see shit.
No, but she knows because she was next to us when we said it.
You said it, and she was like looking around when you darted in. So you come out with her, and what do you do?
Where do we go? Where do we go? They're in the club, just so we all know. They're everywhere.
Is
and I look up, are they on like rooftops?
Like what you
are they like
described
everywhere?
for the hostel or the around that situation?
Yes. Exactly that. I look towards the
Clove,
hostel.
I know you don't like this, but maybe we go to the safe room.
You go ahead. I'll be right behind.
No, you go in front of me. Lovely.
No, I'll be right behind. Keep going. You got to do that. You got to get Nikki in there. It's safety. Just go ahead.
I need to check them. Gabriel turns and just sort of walks a little down the street to see if he can get eyes on the hostel. I'm not sure where it is in relation to us.
You turn towards the hostel, and midway through, you see a man standing in the middle of the street in the same like overall pose as like the shadows, and you see a lighter skinned black man, like lighter tone, with long dreads in a powdered, like pure white suit, and he's looking at you, and his eyes are just straight white, like no pupils, nothing, just white. Stark white.
What color was his suit? Sorry.
White as well.
White suit.
Like full on. This is white on white on white. It's white shirt, white tie, white suit, white gloves, and white shoes.
Does he look like he's aware of himself, or like he's one of the shades?
He is staring down the street, more or less towards you, but doesn't really seem to acknowledge you.
And I try to take a picture of him in case he's not a shade.
Take a picture. He's there.
So he's there, but the shades are not, obviously, because they're shades and they wouldn't turn up on the camera.
When you have sense the unseen, you look at the camera, and you couldn't see this in the real world, but on the captured image, you see a skeletal hand wrapped around him.
But yeah, is it coming from the hostel, like a long
No, you just
skeletal hand,
see,
or just a hand?
it's this completely disembodied skeletal hand wrapped around him.
Disembodied
The hostel is not, but the hostel is
skeletal hand.
the hostel is not in the picture.
The
Like
hostel doesn't
the
appear on-
building is not there in the picture.
I look back and hopefully still see my friends somewhere along the road.
I mean, you
'cause I
walk
walked
down the road, yeah, you see them at the club. They're surrounded by shades.
I think I
I
was
don't like
starting
any
to
of
usher
this.
people towards the magician's old building, the one that's a safe room. Everybody be human in here. I don't know if that'll affect shades or not. I don't know.
You go inside, there is nothing in here. It's perfectly still and calm. It does mean the Nosferatu and the Malkavian have to go in.
No, Chloe stays outside.
Okay.
I'll just keep watch. Don't worry.
I look back at Clove and I look back at this man and I'm like, oh, this is dumb. Hello, can you hear me?
Papa, can you hear me?
I need you to make a resolve and composure roll.
Okay,
Difficulty 3.
resolve and composure. 5. That's not fair. Well, let's find
Yeah,
out what I
I
get.
would have tried to get whoever would have come with me into the safe room.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're
well,
going to the
I was
safe room.
waiting for you all to get in, and Clove obviously doesn't want to go in, and he
Mhm.
respects that because same girl, same. But 2, 4. It's the first good roll I've had all night.
You ask him, "Are you okay?" And he just looks at you, and you see him mouth something, and you hear it in your ear as a whisper across this long distance, perfectly clear. Yes, now that you are with us. And you feel yourself take a first step forward and then panic and recoil. But for a moment, you were moving towards him.
So I race back to Clove and I go, "Don't speak to them. They try to indoctrinate you."
Okay. No, I'm just gonna curl up real small here, just by the door. That's all. That's okay. I can go in like anytime I want. Like this, I'm not
And
scared or nothing.
I show you the picture, and I'm like, "Any ideas?"
Again, it's the guy, a disembodied skeletal, like spectral skeletal hand wrapped around him, and the hostel is not there.
Where did it go? Where the fuck did the whole fucking building go? And also, he spoke in my head, and I wanted to follow him.
No.
And I didn't, but I wanted to.
Okay.
It's not my area. I can't stab it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know what to. I don't know what to do.
I don't know if this is going to pass.
Clove, you feel words in your ear. Say, "We have the answers you seek. We know where she is.
Oh.
Just need to follow us. The answers await you at the hostel.
Oh. Okay.
Our doors are open to you, Clove."
Oh,
and
okay.
The voice goes away. In your case, you don't feel a pull.
Hey, Gabriel, I have an idea. I'm gonna go over to the hostel and I'll see what's going on. You stay
Insight.
here and make sure everyone stays safe. Like, don't worry about
Insight.
it.
Did she just hear a voice? Because she was muttering
It's
to
an
herself.
insight versus manipulation and subterfuge.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, that's
Where's my?
3, 4.
Oh well,
I'm
that's
gonna
not gonna
add
be
body
great for me.
language too, because she was doing some weird muttering. So,
He's always doing weird muttering, but
True.
it
It's
does
true.
apply.
no, it's not aroused. Stop rolling. I keep trying to hit rouse. Sorry. 7, 2. Really, really willpower.
I got 2 on 2 dice.
Ah,
5
Okay.
critical. Fuck you.
oh no. Something's definitely up. There is an obvious reaction from Clove, and she is very keen on what she's saying. There's a definite interest there.
Okay, so
Clove,
I'm just gonna
did they
go.
speak
So
to you? Did they speak to you in your head?
um yes, but hear me out. Okay, but hear me
What-
out. Hear me out.
If it were me, what would you be saying?
Okay, but like you need to be here because you're smart and you're clever. I'm good at finding out information. So I would
Point
just
out the
find out
mess.
information this way.
Okay, here's the thing. If you go to the hostel, I'm coming with you, and then I'll probably be
Oh.
dead. So take that as you will.
Oh, it's not very fair.
Because Clove families stick together.
Hey, but they know about someone who's based my family, and
Or they
I
read
kind of
your
just
mind and know that that's how they convince you to go there.
well, yeah, but we don't know until I go. That's what. Listen, this is just important. I have to know. I have to solve this mystery. It's a lot. It's in there all the time.
You
So,
don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself to solve the mystery. You're very good at solving mysteries.
I've tried very hard, and I have not. So maybe that skeleton hand knows.
Since when has a skeleton hand known anything good?
I don't know. I
Skeleton
haven't asked
hands all around the world just felt offended.
Okay.
Well,
But here, but like we have to stop this, right? Like we can't just stay in that room that I refuse to go in all the time. Like we
I don't
got to
wanna go
figure
in
out
there
something.
either. I don't want to stop existing.
I know. I don't know what to do because we have to. I don't know how to stop this. Like we can see it, but I don't know how to stop it.
If we go in there, we might not come out. And then who protects them in there?
Hmm.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
I'm trying to make a call to Maddie just to like inquire about like, could you get hold of bullets that can burn people?
Business mode.
I need
sir,
fire bullets.
there's tracer rounds, but not really. I mean, I can look around, but legality of the matter aside, particularly in this country, I'll make some calls.
What about sleeping gas?
And Miss, legality of the thing aside, I'll need to make some calls.
Darling, I own one of the best law firms in the country, and I have a lot of money. I'll find a way.
Maddie changes between Miss, Sir, and whatever, because it still hasn't figured out the right term for the employer in this case. Sometimes goes for boss, just still filling it out.
Aw.
I kind of dig it.
That's
That's why I wrote it. I was like, oh, I kind of like it.
Yeah. Hey, Gabriel, we're gonna have to go in there, aren't we, for now, then? With the others. I think we might have to. If I'm not going over to there where I really, really want to right now, then this is the other choice, and I don't want to, but also you don't want to. So we can do it together and both be upset, but just not alone.
If I go in there with you, if that's what makes you stay safe, then I will come with you. But
Okay.
Clove,
Mm-hmm.
I won't be me anymore, so
Okay. Okay, but that's okay because I know who you are now, and I'll make sure I will kick you out of that room as soon as we can, and then I can go back to being slightly angry at you because it's you I'm angry at, not the other guy.
well, thanks. I thought you
Yes.
forgave me. Are you angry at me again now?
Well, I can still be angry even though you're forgiven. It's just for you. It's anger that's only
Okay, well,
for
no,
you, and
okay,
Michael
that's
doesn't
fair.
get it. Yes. So I will hold on to that anger, and you will not be gone.
I'm angry at Michael, so I will take being angry at him,
Yes.
and you can be angry at me.
Okay, this is a good plan.
Just
Okay.
like if it makes you feel better, at least you don't stop existing in there.
She doesn't say anything, but she puts out her hand.
He takes it.
Okay.
And we'll walk in with her. And
As you're taking that
goes away.
final,
I'm showing Ophelia limos with stripper poles built into them. What about
We're
this
having a
one?
great time in there.
as you're taking that final step into the sanctuary, Clove, I need you to make a wits and awareness roll for me.
Oh no.
Difficulty is 2.
Okay. All right. There's a chance here. All right. That is. Okay. 2.
You see your sire standing on the threshold of the hostel, and then you step in.
God! Damn it! Gabriel, you're
And that is where we're gonna end our session.
Gabriel's gone.
I think she's just sitting in the room staring at Michael, going, "We're gonna leave here soon, and then we got unfinished business."
Well,
just a stare that Michael doesn't understand.
This is how things go.
Kind of does, though. Michael always knows.
You're staying in that sanctuary, presumably, for the rest of the evening. Even though in this place you feel human and you are very much human and all the other things about your different curses are gone, at the top of the morning, you all fall unconscious. You are still who you are, and you are dead to the world during the day. But this place will keep you safe from everything. And that is where we end our session tonight. This was episode 8, Street Cred.
I'm sure that this isn't going to have any sort of lasting impact
Means
on
we have
Nikki,
to do
Ricky, or Bobby.
bathroom stuff while we're human. That's
Means we all get hungry for food and we're all like, ugh, what's that feeling? That's gross.
It's gross.
Hasn't
I
happened
think
yet.
Violetta's thinking of getting a proper breakfast. It's been years.
Ravenous.
Only problem is you would need to order it outside, and it's in during the day. During the day, you're knocked out.
Should have done a Uber Eats order for the next evening. Order it in advance, and then it'll get here and it'll be useless to you. You'll be like, oh.
Hindsight. Everybody gets 5 points of experience.
Ooh.
And this was your first meeting with the Nightsiders. Only 2 factions left to interact with. The red light click, and well, you had a bit of glimpse at the Schattenjäger, the Shadow Hunters. Thank you so much to our chat and audience for joining us tonight for this delightful game. If you enjoy what you watched, maybe consider hitting that follow button. I would not complain. I would be very much appreciative of that. Trying to get to that 300 followers now, and have plans for when I hit that goal. I'll probably will be drawing all these wonderful people into a game of slasher, where we'll be killing them all mercilessly.
I'll be the first to die
You know,
again.
Yeah.
Unlike every other game where you try to
I
kill us all
mean,
there.
were you the first to die in the second slasher?
Yes. The 2 games of 10 Candles Slasher we have played, I have died first both times. At this point, I'd be disappointed if I didn't.
I mean, one time you were, I think, axed to death.
Yep.
And the second time you were folded into a pretzel and stuffed into a washing machine.
Yeah. Does that mean? Yeah. It was. Yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah. It was great.
I let the look on Adrian's face like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's great. It's like a sign of respect. I want a good death. Okay.
I haven't gotten to play 10 Candles yet. Or Dread. I really want to play Dread.
problem with Dread is that we need a Jenga tower, and the virtual versions of Jenga towers are terrible. But so Slasher is a variation on 10 Candles that I run, where it's formatted as a slasher movie, including the potential for a single survivor, which kind of breaks the whole.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jay did the first. Yeah.
And on the second one, and on
It
the
was
second one we
Glyza.
played, I think it was Glyza, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's touching. Oh, I'm gonna cry. There was a sacrifice and I can't with this.
Before
It's
we'll be
beautiful.
back in 2 weeks with the next stage of this journey and find out what the Coterie does with the other factions, or if they take action against the Nightsiders. But that's going to be it for us for tonight. Before I take us away, we could go around and people can tell you who they are and where you can find them in the dark corners of the internet. So, Jade.
Hi, I'm Jade. I played Ophelia Taylor, and you can find me on this channel on Sundays, playing 8th Seed, Kevin's Homebrew D&D, and then obviously every other Friday, which is this Friday in 2 weeks' time, playing vampires, and also check out the Lawful Geek YouTube channel and watch Kernels of Mystery, which it was awesome.
Nate.
I'm Nate. I've been playing Gabriel Hell, your resident arcade gamer this evening. You can find me whilst it survives on Twitter as Tiniest Sidekick. Here on this channel, every Sunday playing 8th Seed, every other Friday here for this game, and then on his YouTube channel, Waffle Geek, for Kernels of Mystery, which is very fun. And that is my game.
Megan.
Hello, I'm Megan. I am Clove, full of anger. Don't worry, Gabriel. Her anger burns forever until he comes back. Yeah, I am also Kernels of Mystery. If you want to find me, I am quite not on Twitter, and that first link is my card page, which has all the other socials as they are updated. If you like if you like Monster of the Week, check out any place you get podcasts for $2 Creature Feature. In the second season, we've actually finished recording the finale, but you won't hear that till September. So you got plenty of time to catch up to the strange happenings in Jupiter Hollow. And I'm very proud that I ran a Pride one-shot on Girls Run These Worlds of Trash Pails, which is where you play animals that collect trash all night long. And that just went up on their YouTube like yesterday now. It's been there longer if you see this later. And check that out. It's fun. They had a final fight with a seagull in a theater. I'm proud of that.
And you're also every other Friday on our Peanuts.
Yes, it's true. I am also there.
Our game where every arc we go into a new world and a different story in a different RP system.
It's true.
Currently, we're in Monster Hearts. Yes.
It's going great.
Adrian.
Adrian, I was playing Violeta. Currently, you can find me here. I'm on Twitter at Wolfman Gaming. You can find me in a book
the Altered Carbon New Johannesburg supplement that I wrote, if you want to play that or read that. Other than that, right now I haven't got anything else going on.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Congrats.
Congratulations. That's fairly awesome.
Hell yeah.
Hunters books, Hunters Entertainment.
Yeah, Hunters Entertainment.
Awesome. For me, I got very little to say except hope you join us this Sunday for a D&D game. Either see Cycle of Stars. It's set my own homebrew setting in a modern era of industrialized might and magic, where you can buy cantrips from the pharmacy. And it's our arc finale, and the party is fighting a boss that very much needs Jade's character to die for business. For good
business purposes.
Yeah, business purposes.
You know.
For the bottom line. And, it's just business. Nothing personal. He also may be responsible for murdering her biological parents a long time ago, but that also was business. So, not his fault.
What is he, a Ventru?
No, mercenary.
Okay.
Other than that, as I mentioned, Kernels of Mystery, it's a Kids on Bikes game where every story we pull from 1985 games deck of stories. Literally pull 3 cards, and I have to spend 10 minutes trying to come up with a semi-coherent story. They get a bit wild, including pizza monsters.
Nah.
Which I am not proud of. I will never be proud of that one.
Pizza turned on me, not pizza.
Other than that, every other week we have Vampire, and the opposite weeks are Peanuts. We'll be back with Monster Hearts next week. And one of our players is taking a break for a few months on the basis of creating new life.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We can excuse her absence based on that. It's reasonable, I suppose. And that's it. There are other things that we're working on, recording, planning, etc. But I'll announce them at a later date when relevant. Thank you all for joining us. We hope you had a good time, and we will see you next time.